race 3, the third and final event on the program. Watch for the green light. There it is. Away we go. This is it. Can Gardner make it? A winning round. He doesn't get away to the best of the starts at Seaton.
Maybe just Seaton by the looks of it.
A great start by the Ford Credit Falcon. He comes blasting down the outside. It is Glenn Seaton who will take him into turn 1. Gardner has tucked up into second.
Bow.
John Bow has come blasting through.
Nearly second. Oh dear, that's getting a bit close.
We ride now with Dick Johnson, the Shell Helix in-car camera. We're on top of Dick's car, though, having a look at the field, trying to sort themselves out. Peter Brock out to the outside there. They all get through that section of the circuit okay, but it's Glenn Seaton who's just bolted away. Mark Scape is up in third. There's the two Castrol Perkins Commodores sorting themselves out just ahead of what looked like Mark Poole.
Boy, you got to hand it to Bowie. That was a brilliant start, wasn't it?
John Bow is up there in 4th position. Blasted through on the inside. So it's Seaton, Gardner, Bow. There your top 3. Here we have a look at it. Scape is, Scape is up in the top 3 ahead of Bow. He's right behind Gardner. Mark Scape's had a good night. He's still up there in the points, not too far out of it.
Well, he has, and when you consider he hasn't done much testing and the old budget doesn't exist, he's not doing too bad at all.
Coopers and Lybrand giving the Gibson Motorsport team some support. Here we go. Have a look at this. Greg Murphy and John Bow.
Oh, no. I spoke to Greg Murphy. He didn't lock up the brakes. He missed the gear coming into the right-hander at the end of the straight and just locked it up. He couldn't get second, and he said that if he had got it, it was just too late, and he just went straight on. That was it, but he wasn't too pleased with himself. Greg always has high expectations of his own performance, and he would have been, I would imagine, a little bit disappointed with himself. Well, a little bit disappointed with himself. That's an understatement, I think.
Watching the Coke Commodore of Wayne Gardner. He's got a 6-point lead at the moment going into the final round. We have a look at out of the back of Gardner's Coke Commodore. There's Mark Scape looking for an option, any option, as they come onto the main straight.
I tell you what's interesting, speaking of Brocky said he couldn't get any grip, and he's made a load of changes to his car. Yet Greg Murphy, same thing, same tyre, same everything, and he looks like he was going okay.
He was going unbelievably. Here comes Scape, locks it up.
Incredible. You can see the disc glowing.
Disc glowing, flames blowing all over the back of Wayne Gardner. Have a look at this. Gardner has got a real battle on his hands. Mark Scape is running hot to trot at the moment. Here is the Shell Helix update for you. Seaton, Gardner, Scape, Bow and Murphy. There your top 5 at the minute. Here goes Scape with an inside look.
Deal.
Switches to the outside. We're in the back of Gardner's car right now as we have a look at the Coopers and Lybrand Commodore. Mark Scape looks for the inside. Got him.
Move. That was good. That was hot. That was good stuff.
So Mark Scape is up into 2nd position, his highest position on today's card. Sitting in behind Glenn Seaton, who is just gradually trickling away. We go on board now.
I tell you what, Gardner's thing isn't down on horsepower in a straight line, is it?
Just pulled out and had a look up the outside of Mark Scape now tucks in behind him. So it's Seaton, Scape, Gardner. They're your top 3. We ride now with Wayne in the Coke Commodore. That Scape Commodore just belching flames out all the time. Pretty spectacular under lights here at Calder.
Oh, it is incredible. You know, it's you wouldn't think it would look that different, but even when you get outside and see it for real, it looks 100% better than it does in the daylight.
Gardner's going to have to keep a keen eye on his mirrors because he's got the young gun right in behind him too. Greg Murphy is right on the pace in this 3rd and final race. He's sitting back 3rd in the points, 10 points adrift of Gardner, so he's got nothing to lose.
I think Greg Murphy's team were a little bit sort of miffed that he went straight on. It wasn't his fault, you know, it wasn't a sort of do-or-die braking job, but I think you'll find that he won't take too many risks in this one. He'll just get some points because it's 30 race series and you don't win it in the first race.
There's a long way to go.
Yeah, exactly.
234 kilometres per hour down the main straight. That is the time. The speed, rather, for Glenn Seaton in the Ford Credit Falcon. We're watching Greg Murphy now manoeuvre the HRT Mobile Commodore around this Calder Park circuit. There's your leader. He zooms through. Scape, Gardner. Then we go back to Murphy Bow, sitting back in 5th position ahead of Russell Ingall, Larry Perkins, Alan Jones, Mark Poole and John Faulkner. They're your top 10.
That's Ingall.
Here's the battle.
Ingall having a go at Bowie. Oh,
good
move. Good one.
Bow just drifted a little wide there and allowed Russell Ingall to dive up the inside. Didn't have to wait for a second invitation. And they come onto the main straight one more time. Seaton has got around about a little over a second over Mark Scaife at the moment. Scaife is going really well.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's quite a turnaround, isn't it? Because Scaife hasn't, you know, sort of shone the whole week. Well, the whole weekend he wasn't too happy, but all of a sudden he's up there.
Qualified in third position for the opening race. As we have a look at the Shell Helix race score for you, Seaton still leads away from the man we were talking about, Mark Scaife. Gardner back in third, Murphy in fourth, Russell Ingall in fifth. Whatever you do, stick around here on 10 Sunday of Sport. We'll be back with more of race 3. Welcome back to Calder Park. We continue. The action continues here in race 3, the third and final race. You're watching the battle for third and fourth between the Coke Commodore of Wayne Gardner and the Mobile Commodore of Greg Murphy. He won the first race, finished further back in the second. You're looking to get up into the top 3 in this one.
I tell you what, I don't reckon it's going to be long before the old Murphy's past Wayne. He's really giving him the hurry up now.
Coming down hard under brakes. This is the view from the back of Wayne Gardner's Coca-Cola Commodore. Greg Murphy trying everything that he possibly can. Drifting a little high there on the ripple strip. Now hard under brakes. Murphy's shown us just how good he is under brakes. There's the gap for you as they come over the strike one more time. They've completed 7 laps of this 20-lapper. Murphy won't give in. There's the gap.
Good on the brakes.
That shot illustrates it well, Baz, that the gap, the interval between first and second back to Scaife and then back to Gardner and how close Murphy is. There's Ingall back in 5th position.
It's funny, when you've made a mistake like Greg Murphy did in the first race, every time you come to that corner again, you think, oh, no, I mustn't do the same thing again. And you would think, you know, once you've done a couple of laps, it's out of your mind, but it's always in there.
Our man on the ground is Mark Osler. Mark, how are you seeing this one?
Well, it's interesting, Lee. I was just talking to Alan Heafy, the boss of the Coke Racing team, and watching Wayne lose a couple of positions early in this third heat. I thought there might have been something wrong with the car. Maybe it was lacking grip or something. Alan said, no, Wayne's just very much aware of the point situation. We want to win this thing, so he's driving very conservative, very safely.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, Mark, because just got the nod from our statistician, Nigel Greenway, that if Seaton remains in first, Gardner remains in third, they'll be level on points. But, of course, the better result in the latter event, Seaton will win the round.
See Murphy locking him up there. Woof.
So Gardner's got to go one better. He's got to try and get up there and mix it with Mark Scaife. We'll hope that something happens to the 2 lead cars, which we don't want to happen. But sitting where he is at the minute is not quite good enough for Wayne Gardner. Although we must say he still will get plenty of points.
Well, he's got to be pleased with it. I spoke to him and he said he was, you know, really happy. And also he commended Seaton, because he said Seaton could have really been difficult. He got held up with some back markers. That's why I called him up so quickly. But he was really, really nice. You know, he didn't exactly let him pass, but he said he could have been a lot more difficult than he was.
There he goes. Greg Murphy, the man we're talking about. Let's go on board. We are on board now with Glenn Seaton, the race leader in the Ford Credit Falcon, working hard behind the wheel. He's currently on his 9th lap.
And when you talk to this guy, you would never believe somebody like him could drive a race car the way he does. He's the nicest, quietest kind of guy you could ever wish to meet. And, you know, it's just really, you expect racing drivers, riders to be really aggressive. But have a listen to this, listen. The old brakes and the gearbox going down through the gears. Whoa! Oh,
it's coming up on the inside of John Trimble.
I think he's going to turn in.
Has a quick look in the rearview mirror just to see how fast